Have you ever wondered what are the plants that are always blooming in a tropical garden? I want to share them with you today. This plant right here is called the monkey brush vine. Do you see that? It actually looks like a brush, and if you go like this, it feels like a brush also. When you look at the flower from the side, it looks exactly like a brush. This one is called the monkey brush vine, and it's always in bloom. Now, it's not always profusely in bloom, but it is always in bloom here in the tropics. So if you're trying to recreate a tropical garden and you want a garden that is blooming all the time, then consider adding the monkey brush vine to your garden. Now let's go over here. I want to share a second plant with you, and it's this one right here. This one is called allamanda. Locally, we call it the buttercup. And I do have 4 varieties of this plant here. This plant always in bloom. Even though it's a magnet for caterpillars, you can rest assured that it will never disappoint. It will always give you flowers every single day without exception. Every single day. Now let me show you some of the other varieties that I have of this buttercup or allamanda. I do have over here the white. Let me show you. This one is the white. See, it has a few flowers because this is a young plant. I planted it lately, but this plant is not disappointing. Look there. Look at these flowers on this one. Now, in addition to this, I also have the yellow over here and the pink. I don't know if you can see those. That's the yellow, and the pink is right there with the yellow. Let me pull it in a little bit so you can see the yellow and the pink. If you want to have a tropical garden, this is a great plant. It is called allamanda, and it's always blooming. This is an ever bloomer, lots of flowers. Now note, you have to do a lot of cleanup because if you look in the passageway there, you will see that the flowers fall every single day. But guess what? Never disappoints. It never disappoints. Now I want to show you another one that is always in bloom, and we are going to go to this one right here. This one right here. I have 2 varieties of these here. These are called the haciendas. Look at that. This plant, every day, every single day of the year. And these are not really flowers. These are the bracts. And so they're always there. The flowers are really, you can actually see the tiny flower right at the top of the camera there. You're seeing the tiny flower of this plant. It's always like this. This one is the hacienda. So if you live in a place where you get tropical plants and you want to add to your garden, then this is one that you can add. Look at this. Look how beautiful it is. I love it. Absolutely love it. Always blooming. Now, let me show you another one that is always in bloom, and I did not appreciate it even though I lived here, and this was a plant that we have a lot of. Look at the breeze. Look at what the breeze is doing to these plants. The one that I want to show you is called the vinca. Now, let's not leave out the cosmos. From the time the flowers open until this plant dies, you can always have cosmos in your garden here in the tropic. And guess what? When the plant dies down, the seeds fall on the ground and new plants come up all the time. So this here, I would call this an ever bloomer too. The one that I had to learn to appreciate, wait, let me turn the camera like this, is this one right here, vinca. This plant, because I grew up with this plant, and I actually considered it almost like a weed, I never fully appreciate this plant. But this one here, never out of bloom. Let me show you some others that I have that needs a little bit of cutting, but I still want to share them with you. Right here, these always in bloom. This is something great to plant, and it lives for a very, very long time. All right, so then we have this one here. I have to remember the name of it. I'm going to put the name on the screen, but this one also is always in bloom. And I have quite a few of them around the garden. And they add a nice touch to the garden. Bird of paradise. You can depend on this to give you flowers all the time. And that's the thing with having a tropical garden in the tropics, is that you will always, always, always have flowers. Always. Then there's this little one here that I have to give the name also. Always in bloom. Ever blooming. And you know, at first I didn't like it, but now I'm really developing a great appreciation for this plant right here. All right, so let's go around and see what else is always in bloom here in our tropical garden. And who can forget the lovely, lovely Exura? Look at it here. Ever blooming. Never stops. Look, we have some more over here. Ever blooming. All the time. It's like this all the time. This might die after a time, but then another one will open and it will keep going like that. Then we have our one and only crown of thorns. I know that you know that this plant blooms all the time also. And here it is showing us that it is an ever bloomer. Then I have this one here. I'm not sure of the name. I have to look for the name also. Always blooming. Such beautiful white flowers. And guess what? If a plant is blooming, I will keep it. Look at this. This is the same allamanda. This is a different, it's the same color in the allamanda. And this one here, always blooming. Another plant that is always blooming here in the tropics is the bleeding heart. This is called the bleeding heart vine, and it always, always has flowers. How beautiful is that? There's another Musienda. Here we have another Musienda. Now these over here, they are not always blooming. Let me just show you. This one here is the sandpaper vine. It's not always blooming, but look at the show it's giving us today. This one also is not always blooming, but when it decides to give us a show, oh my lordy. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Let's go closer. Not always blooming, but oh my gosh. All right, let's go down now and look at what else is always blooming. Hibiscus, I don't see any flowers on them right now. Just young buds. Wait, what's going on there? But they always bloom also. What's going on with this plant? I'm praying that this plant get a chance to do its thing on its own. Anyway, that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the plants that are always blooming. Ever blooming. Here is another one of my ever bloomer. Yes. Ever blooming. This one blooms, but not all the time. I think this is the coral plant. It doesn't bloom all the time, but when it blooms afterwards, that will become a seed, and this is what will happen. Look there. I have so many plants. I have to think what to do with them. And my final ever bloomer, let's go over here. This is also another one of my alamanders. I realized that they bloom. This is the peach. You see that? This one here is the bleeding heart. Sorry, not the bleeding heart. This one is the Rangoon creeper, single petal. Not always in bloom, but this one is ready to flower and to show off itself. So I just wanted to share that with you.